And to have this session on landlocked developing countries in general as part of the World Export Development Forum is extremely important. I'm seeing so many friends here. I've been working with the LLDCs for over 9 years in my career, and I've been leading the international think tank for over 9 years as well. So therefore, all the topics that you are touching upon today, tomorrow, are of utmost importance. I don't really have to tell you how important it is to talk about landlocked developing countries and their challenges. We all know that. We have been talking about it during the Vienna Program of Action meeting, the second UN conference, and throughout the years. Next year, we're going to the next third LLDC UN conference. I think this is a crucial time to discuss LLDC issues and bring it back on the table again. We had 2.5 years of COVID restrictions, and we had lockdowns, and now we have conflicts all over the world. And our agenda of LLDCs and LDCs are somehow being a little bit forgotten. So we have to bring the attention back to the table. Ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, let me please welcome you to Mongolia. First, this whole meeting is being organized in cooperation with all our great partners and institutional international organizations and under the auspices of the President of Mongolia. The President of Mongolia, as a president of a landlocked nation, he's attaching great importance to the issue of the landlocked developing countries. That's why he sends the foreign minister every year to the LLDC foreign ministers meeting in New York. And Mongolia has always been a leader country in addressing the issues and challenges facing landlocked developing countries. In an increasingly interconnected world, the ability to trade and engage in commerce is vital for the economic development and growth of a country. However, landlocked countries, as we all know, face extremely difficult challenges. We are actually facing double challenges and triple challenges. I want to give you an example. Being a landlocked country, I was just talking to UN OHRLS, my old colleagues and friends, and asked them, do we still have 20% difference in terms of development rate when it comes to the comparison between a landlocked country and a landlocked, non-landlocked but coastal economies? And OHRLS is saying, yeah, in some parts we did a little bit better, but we're still 20% lower in terms of development, but when it comes to development compared to our coastal neighbors. So it means that COVID, we all know COVID didn't help. But one thing that is very important is, of course, trade facilitation. Not only is it important to have all the mechanisms of discussions, but it's very important for a landlocked country to start with its immediate neighbors. It's essential. And I remember my time at the International Think Tank for Landlocked Developing Countries. All research papers we produced started with a summary that said, in order to have the best possible development rate, and regional integration, first and foremost, you have to have the best possible relations to your immediate neighbors. If you don't have that, the best infrastructure doesn't help. Let us acknowledge the challenges faced by landlocked developing countries, and I wanted to give you an example. Mongolia is a very peaceful country, a landlocked country, having diplomatic relations with 193 countries in the world. No dispute with its two neighbors, no religious or any other argument with any other nation in the world. But we are being indirectly hit by the sanctions to our neighbors or to any other landlocked partner. So therefore, we have to acknowledge that. Infrastructure is very important. Inefficient customs procedures and inadequate infrastructure and bureaucratic hurdles and logistical barriers further exacerbate the difficulties faced by the landlocked nations around the world. However, it is crucial that we recognize the immense potential that lies within landlocked countries. I always said that landlocked developing countries may face challenges, but you see at the landlocked nations, 32 of them, as a market that becomes very interesting. You have a very big market of the world that could be developed further. Trade connectivity, regional trade connectivity, And the unlocking of economic potential of these countries is really very important. So how can we enhance regional trade and connectivity for landlocked developing countries? Allow me to propose a few key strategies that could be interesting for the panel discussion. First, it's imperative to establish robust and reliable transportation infrastructure. Investment in road networks and railway and modernized border crossing can significantly reduce transit times and costs. Cooperation among landlocked countries, transit countries, and international organizations and donor countries is vital to facilitate the development of efficient transportation costs. But please do not forget, the best possible infrastructure, the hard infrastructure, makes only 1/3 of the entire problem. We need the soft infrastructure as well. We need the capacity of the people working at the customs, the best possible sort of X-ray mechanisms that you have on the border, and the digitalized thing doesn't really help if you don't have the capacity of the people that you train for the countries. Second, simplifying trade procedures and reducing the red tape in terms of bureaucratic mechanisms is crucial. Streamlining customs processes and enhancing digital platforms for trade documentation and implementing the single window system can reduce the time and lead time tremendously. This will not only benefit landlocked countries, but also promote seamless trade among regional partners, immediate neighbors, and also the third and fourth neighbors. Third, fostering regional cooperation and partnerships is essential. As I said, you should have the best possible relations with your partner and your friends, not only with your immediate neighbor, but also the partner after the partner. Landlocked developing countries should actively engage in regional trade agreements and initiatives and strengthening economic integration within regional blocs, such as through the establishment of free trade zones, dry ports. These can enhance market access, encourage investment, and promote the growth of industries in landlocked nations. But it's through the years I have also learned it's also very important not only promote trade and promote investment, it's also very important in those countries, landlocked countries. We have to ensure that the investment environment is very transparent and reliable. We need to have that in terms of legislation, and then also be a reliable and transparent partner for our donors. In conclusion, lastly, engaging the international community in supporting LLDCs is, of course, important. Equally important is also engaging the private sector. And the Vienna Program of Action has been talking about it for 10 years now. Engaging the private sector. That's why we, as the host country, we really wanted to have this session and the B2B meetings in the afternoon. It is important that not only the UN, the decision makers and advisors and all these people talk on the podium. It is very important that all businesses talk to each other. They have to come together and deal with these things and then bring those challenges and problems, all these red tapes, all these things that you want to eliminate. You have to bring it not only to the UN, but also to your decision makers. Only then they will understand that they have to do their work, and then your trade is facilitated. It is very important that we engage in discussions and sit at the round table to not only promote the understanding and mutual beneficial cooperation of businesses, it is also very important to engage in state and private sector partnership. Private and public partnership is very important for LLDCs, and that's also should also be a very important issue for discussion. In conclusion, the regional trade connectivity of landlocked developing countries is a matter of utmost importance. I cannot say that enough. By addressing the unique challenges faced by the nations, we can unlock their economic potential. See behind the challenges. How do we overcome those challenges? Together, sustainably, but also in a very green manner. 5 years ago, we haven't been talking about green diversified trade. We have been talking about trade facilitation at the WTO. We have been talking about all the different things that are transit transportation. How do we facilitate trade? How do we make the trade lead time shorter, etc., etc. But then now, the more we see the world changing in front of our eyes, we have to be very, very careful supporting trade. It has to be a sustainable one. It has to be green. It has to be good for the people of all our countries, not for institutions, not for decision makers, or not for politicians. It should be very, very helpful and beneficial for the common people. We have seen that through the pandemic years, and I'm pretty sure we will continue to face challenges in the coming years. So in order to overcome this, not only it is important to have the roundtables and the mechanisms at the United Nations to discuss our problems and challenges, it's very important that we see further. How do we get out of this misery? How do we get things done? I really would love to. Mongolia actually wanted to host the next LLDC UN conference, but because we are hosting the COP17 on desertification and all the other international organization-led mechanisms coming to Mongolia, it has been challenging. But Mongolia will still promote the LLDC issues. The think tank, your only think tank of landlocked developing countries, is housed and hosted here in Mongolia. Please make sure you use the think tank as before. They are having a very, very interesting time in working with all your countries on different levels, your researchers and all the international organizations. Make use of them. They have good research papers coming out, and if you challenge them, they will come with solutions. I remember my time from the international think tank, how difficult it was to set it up as an international organization, but it is now there, and I cannot say enough. Use this think tank, utilize it, and make use of their research capacity, and also you make use of their connection to all the international organizations. Once again, I would like to wish the panelists and the entire forum great success. Mongolia is very happy to host, and we are very glad to see you here all in Mongolia after the pandemics. We can now talk face to face. Good to see all my old friends from all the international organizations. Wish you all the best. I know your capacity and your experience and your leadership is very important for all landlocked developing countries. And I'm saying that as a landlocked developing country. Wish you all the best, personal well-being. Enjoy Mongolia. Feel home. We are having the best summer in a couple of years. Not only is it important to have your meetings here in the Shangri-La Hotel, it is also very important to go out and have some food. Local food, enjoy Mongolian culture, enjoy Mongolian friendliness and openness and hospitality, and come again and again. Our doors will be open for you. We're always very happy to talk about landlocked developing countries issues, but also world and global issues in other countries. So thank you very much for giving me the floor. Wish you all the success, and also great, great success to the panels and the forum for the next couple of days. Thank you very much. Thank you.